Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Angelia and I'm a student of English Education Department in Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. In this video, I'd love to talk about popular book that I've read, which title is Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. For the book Identity, this book was written by famous minimalist from Japan who is Fumio Sasaki. The genre of this book is self-improvement book and it consists of 256 pages. This book was published in 2017 by Penguin Books and it got incredibly high rate, which is 4.5 on Goodreads. And unquestionably, I really recommend this book to all of you. The author of this book is Fumio Sasaki. He is a famous minimalist person from Japan. Sasaki is a single man who works as book editor at a publishing house in Japan. Actually, he is not a really expert in minimalism. He's just an ordinary man who is easily stressed at work and likes to compare himself to others. Until one day, he decided to change his lifestyle from maximalism to minimalism by reducing the things he owned to become minimalist. His transformation after becoming minimalist is really contrast. After he moved from the old apartment to the new one, he threw away a lot of things and gave them to other people. Sasaki feels that being minimalist doesn't only have an impact on reducing things, but also has an impact on other aspects of life, such as economics, psychology, and aesthetics. Well, this book gives a big picture of what is minimalism and how to become minimalist in Sasaki's point of view. So, the first chapter talk about what is minimalism. According to Sasaki's definition of minimalist, minimalist is a person who knows what is truly essential for him or herself, who reduces the number of possessions that they have for the sake of things that are really important to them. In the other hand, the maximalist is stressful situation tend to happen when you are saddled with more objects that you can handle. You are not able to separate out what's really important. With our desire to have more, we find ourselves spending more and more time and energy to manage and maintain everything we have. We try so hard to do this that the things that were supposed to help us end up ruining us. So in a chestnut, minimalists are people who know what's truly necessary for them versus what they may want for the sake of appearance, and they are not afraid to cut down on everything in the second category. So the next chapter talk about why did we accumulate so much things in our place. Often we think that our reality is really far from our ideal lifestyle, that we are bound to have bad luck along the way. The same goes for our things. Take our clothes for example. I often felt like I didn't have anything decent to wear. I'd spend my off day shopping and come to dorm exhausted but happy to have found something that I liked. Then I tried it on in front of my mirror. I would feel happy and proud the next day sporting my new clothes. There had to have been days like that for all my clothes. However, I often thinking about that I don't have anything nice to wear. Well, actually, there are so many clothes in my cupboard. When we look things this way, we realize that many of our wishes have actually been granted. Unfortunately, it's just we are never feel satisfied of what we have. Therefore, this is the pattern of everything in our lives. No matter how much we wish for something, over time, it becomes a normal part of our lives. And then a tired old item that bore us, even though we did actually get our wish. And we end up being unhappy. Only way to break the cycle is with gratitude. And gratitude only becomes possible with fewer possessions. Well, the next chapter talk about tips to help you say goodbye to your things and some more tips for the next stage of your minimalist journey. In this chapter, the author gives some tips to help you for reducing your belongings, as well as the tips for next stage of your minimalist journey. But in this part, I will sum up into the best tip to reduce your things. Well, the first things is get rid of it if you haven't used it in a year. One essential method for reducing your possessions is to discard things you haven't used in a year. You should also get rid of things you have no firm plans to use it in the future. The next tips we can do is say goodbye to who you used to be. When discarding anything, it's important to consider whether it is something that you need right now. In the same way that trying to prepare for someday in the future is futile, so is clinging to what used to be in the past. Holding on to things from the past is the same way as clinging to an image of yourself in the past. If you are the least bit interested in changing anything about yourself, he suggests us to be brave and start letting things go. And leave only the items that you need moving forward from this very moment. And the next tips is our home are not museums. They don't need collection. I agree with Sasaki. He said that valuable items are already collected in museum, and we can go there anytime we want, because collecting don't really serve any purpose. And the next tips is one in, one out. This is the capital rule of minimizing things. Running minimalism doesn't mean we no longer need anything. Doesn't mean we no longer need new things. We could reduce one or two things before we buy the new one. And one in, one out rule holds only items of the same type. For example, if we want to buy new hijab, we part with old hijab. It doesn't make sense to buy new cabinet and then throw away old chair, right? And the next one is keep the gratitude. We part with items that we've received as gift, and at the moment, it's feelings of gratitude we should be embracing. Sasaki assumed that it's much more beautiful to focus on your gratitude toward that person as you say a final goodbye to what they gave you. The strong sense of appreciation will remain etched inside us, even after the item is gone, and that's really important. Well, the next chapter is some ways I've changed since I said goodbye to my things. The first one is I have more times. Since minimalists do not buy many things, so Sasaki spends less time when he wants to move out from his apartment and go for shopping. The next one is cleaning becomes 3 times easier if we have fewer things. For example, if we have a big flower vase in our room, if we want to sweep the floor, we have to move the vase first, and then wipe the floor where the vase been sitting, and then we have to replace the vase anymore in the previous positions. And it will be contrast if we have no vase in our room. We could just sweep it and dust it. And the next one is minimalism is not only having less things, but also an impact on the space of thought, feelings, and self-confidence. And furthermore, I no longer compare myself with others. Well, when we say goodbye to our things, our unnecessary things, we also say goodbye to the process of comparing ourselves with others. After all, we no longer have any of those material objects that are used to compare our standard with others. And when we are minimalists who only has what we need, our focus will inevitably shift from others to ourselves. And freed from comparing, we will start to discover who we truly are. Well, in the long term, happiness will not be determined by the possessions of objects. There are other dimensions of happiness we can pursue that can take different forms. Before closing the video, I'd like to cite the best quote from Sasaki. Satisfaction with yourself and abundant happiness can come simply by living each day with gratitude for the ongoing moments. Well, thank you for watching. If you like this, give it a like and comment. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.